I realized the days are going by, and I thought it'd just be helpful to pop on and actually have a face-to-face contact for a little bit and chat about three things I really want to encourage you to pay attention to today for your soul. Um, yeah, so first of all, I again want to start and just say, how are you doing? How are you doing really? And I'll share from from me. Honestly, the days are going a little bit faster now that we've kind of fallen into a kind of a little bit of a routine. But I also yesterday I just felt really, really weary. I think, just being out of normal routines. I had a couple of just some relational things that were happening the last few days that were really wearing on me. And to be honest with you, I have gotten out of my normal soul care routines because we're all off of our routines. And so I kind of got to about midday yesterday and realized like, oh, I'm not in the right headspace and I need to kind of to attend to this and see what I need, what I need for my own soul care. And so I don't know how you're doing, but I share that to say that I'm having those moments too of struggle, and I think that's fair and okay. I was watching a webinar recently, earlier this week, and the person said something I thought was so true. She said, we can have moments of deep peace, and the very next moment we can be in a place of great anxiety. And it doesn't mean that you are bad. It doesn't mean that you're messing up at this. It doesn't mean that you aren't, working on your soul care, but that in essence that is this is the times, right? This is the times that we're in, that we can go from a really grounded place to a not so grounded place, and then right back again just as quickly. But that it is a trying time for us, and it's okay to admit that and say that we don't have it all together, that we are practicing these things, that we are on this journey. And it just rings so true for me, and that's so much about what we do at the Perch, that we are all in this journey together. And what are those practices? What are those things that we can literally, they're called practices because we need to practice them. We don't necessarily master them, but we practice them on and get better at them, and allow ourselves to be in a healthier space. And so if that's helpful for you, I just wanted to make sure I shared honestly with you that these days have been hard for me as well. And so there you have it. But if you are interested in sharing where you're at, I welcome you to share in the comments, or if you'd like to have a more personal conversations, please feel free to message the Perch page, and I'll be the one that responds. But again, I wanted to talk about three different practices, or three different things that I want you to pay attention to today, rather, for your soul health. So the first one is, I just wanted to talk briefly, or maybe not so briefly, but to talk about how is your body doing, and to really pay attention to how your body is doing during this time. I talk about this often at the Perch, but our bodies truly hold so much of the trauma, of the hard things that we're facing in our lives, and our bodies sometimes show up, have that stress show up before our minds even register that we're stressed. And so can you pay attention today to say, how is my body doing? How is my body responding? Where is my body holding stress? And to begin to do some things for your body to help yourself relax, help your body move through that trauma, move through that stress. And so that can be all sorts of things. It could be doing a body scan today, just to sit and say, what's going on in my body? Where am I feeling tension? Where am I feeling things aren't really working the way they're supposed to work? Where am I feeling tightness in my shoulders or my legs or my arms or wherever? And how can I attend to that? And so that may just be kind of mentally releasing your jaw and saying, wow, my jaw has been really, tight. In my yoga class, my yoga instructor is often saying, like, release your tongue. We forget our tongues tend to want to be in action. It's like, no, let your tongue relax. So that could be something that you're doing, is just mentally kind of going through a body scan and saying, relax, relax, relax. But it also might be something a little more physical, like taking a hot shower and letting that water really warm and ease your muscles. It could be taking a walk, and really doing a slow walk even, and just kind of saying, how does everything feel? What do I need to shake out? And just kind of letting that all be and feeling. But I want to encourage you, or it could be even yoga. I just mentioned my yoga class and my yoga instructor, it could be doing yoga and saying, how does my body feel in these poses? What feels off? What feels tight? What just feels different than it normally does? And paying attention to that and honoring that. I think so often we're quick to push aside how we feel in our bodies, to the point that many of us are completely unaware how our bodies feel on a normal basis. So this can be an incredible loving kindness to you today, to sit with your body and say, what's going on here? What do I need to release? What do I need to maybe stretch? What do I maybe need to put a heating pad on today? And just help your body move through that trauma, that stress that you are going through right now. So that's the first thing I want to encourage you to pay attention to today is your body. The second thing I want to encourage you to pay attention to is how you are bringing joy into your life right now. And I want to caveat this and say this is in no way trying to minimize what we're going through. It is not to put a silver lining on things and kind of brush under the rug our grief or our stress or whatever we're feeling. But we are made for both grief and joy, and we can experience them simultaneously, that they do not cancel one another out. We can be in deep grief and also feel deep joy at the same time. And so I think there are things that we can do for our soul health today to say, how can I push more into those areas of joy so that I'm experiencing both? And so for me, I'm going to be totally honest with you. One thing I did this week that has been bringing me so much joy is I bought a new candle from my friend Jenny with Illuminate Space, and it's a grapefruit and mint candle, and I'm kind of obsessed right now. So that might be something that's bringing you joy. It could be creating something. It could be cooking something. It could be organizing something. It could be laying on the couch and doing nothing. It could be connecting with someone. But to find those just even moments of joy in your life and kind of push into them a little bit more today, to allow yourself that joy and to be reminded that we are beings created for joy. I talked recently about the fact that we are created for thriving, healthy lives of purpose. And yet in a time like this, where we're really just trying to survive, it's really difficult to remain focused on the fact that that's the kind of life we're created for. And so pushing into these moments of joy can be so good for our souls, and so good to remind ourselves that we are created for these lives of purpose and beauty and thriving and flourishing, even if we are not in that position right now. So to pay attention to how you're experiencing joy, and can you push yourself to really soak up those moments of joy more today. And then the third thing I wanted to talk about paying attention to is how you are connecting with others and experiencing community right now. I am so incredibly amazed and encouraged by all the people who have gone to virtual meetings. I mean, even here, I'm sitting here on virtual video with you and spending time with you. I also have heard a lot of people say, these Zoom calls, these meetings are actually really, really draining to me. Is anyone else experiencing that draining, And so I think there's something to that. There's something about, there's still a level of showing up that can be difficult right now. There's still a level of, in some ways it's a little more tricky because in an office, I don't have to worry about kids' background noises or the to-do list of, I still have to make lunch and I still have to do this, or what my house looks like. And so sometimes there's actually an added level of stress when we think about showing up with our people, even virtually. We also sometimes we might feel a little tension because we can't really say no, because people are like, well, what else are you doing? Why can't you join this virtual meeting? Why can't you join this Zoom call? What else are you doing? You're stuck at home. And so we feel like maybe our option to say no has been taken away from us. And so for some of us, showing up virtually for community might actually be a little extra taxing. And so I just want to encourage you to pay attention to that today. For me, Zoom has honestly been a lifesaver in some ways, because I've been able to connect with some friends, even some friends that I haven't seen in a while. But I also have greatly limited them. I'm not doing them all day, every day. I'm not even doing them every day. And so I want to encourage you to pay attention to, is it helping? Is it making more stress for you? And either one is okay. There's not a right or wrong answer here. It's just paying attention to what is being actually helpful to you and to your soul. If you are one of those people that feels like virtual meetings are not my cup of tea, they're actually creating more stress, I just want to encourage you that that's okay. And in this time where we're all adjusting, adapting, that's okay to say this isn't my favorite way of connecting. And yet I don't want you to cancel out all communication and community altogether. So I want to encourage you to think about sending letters, having a video or a text call with a close friend where it's someone that you feel like you can let your hair down a little bit more. The other day when it was sunny out, we were chalking our walk, as you may have seen me post, and I had some neighbors who were across the street, so we were nowhere near each other, but it was so nice to just see them and chat with them even for a short while. And so you may want to look for opportunities like that as well. But I do want to encourage you to think through how you are experiencing community right now, because we definitely need one another. We need those times of community. We need to connect with people. And we also really, truly need to be safe. It's not okay to just be showing up at people's houses right now. It's not okay to be gathering in large groups at the park. I know we're tempted into that, but it's simply not safe. And so we need to weigh that we need to be safe, but we also truly do need community. And so how can we do that in a way that feels good to us and actually nourishes our souls? But that is feasible in this time. And so I want you to pay attention to that. How are you pushing into community? And also, how is it affecting you? And if it's not a positive effect, what are some ways that you can make it more positive? So I want to give you that freedom and permission to actually make it better for you and not feel like you have to do what everyone is doing. So just a couple of thoughts today. Part of that, I should say too, is one of our next events coming up is our Soul Care Sampler for Lent and Easter on April 6th. And I originally had set it to a webinar so that no one can see or hear anybody else on the call. You can only see and hear me. And I actually had some requests from people who said, like, I really would actually like to be able to see one another interact in some way. And so I wanted to create an option for that. So I've switched it to a meeting, which what that means is you'll have the option to be muted and be off camera, or you can be seen, or you can be heard as well at the appropriate times during our meeting. So I wanted to let you know that I wanted to create a space that if that's something that's helpful to you, you can do that. And at the very same time, that if it's more helpful for you just to tune in and listen and watch, that's great too. I want us to pay attention to what's actually helpful to us in this time. Yeah. So I think that's about all for now. I would love to hear from you. What are things that are helping you in this time, helping pull you through, helping keep you sane, helping bring you joy, helping you connect in community in helpful ways? I am amazed at the adaptability of humans again, and I'm so amazed by the creativity that people are bringing to this new life that we've been forced into. And so I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you're doing and how it's helping, and how you're kind of creating a new space for yourself to flourish even in some small ways. So I wish you well today. I hope you have a lovely day. And and just a reminder, I'll add this video to our blog post that has all the resources that I've been sharing with all of you. So I'll link that post as well on this video on Facebook. All right. Have a wonderful day. Hang in there. And let's remember that we are all in this together. Pay attention to your body today. And I wish you well. Have a good one.